Travis Wayne Goodsell. I was flooded with enough comments to do a comment reply video. Not been doing those too much lately, have I? So the first comment is from @AlexLintu26. The question is, why not? To my video, tithing crimes again rises from the grave to haunt the LDS Church. So why not? Prophets can do anything. Stealing for the Lord is the commandments gold tablets thing. I do my videos specifically so that everybody understands the correct information that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has been lying to everybody about. And yet Mormons believe the lie as if it's true, and ex-Mormons believe the lie as if they're confessing to having lied. It frustrates me to no end that nobody gets it. If you're not paying attention to the news, Islam is framing Israel, blaming Israel, all because they refuse to accept that Israel owns the land far more than any Islamic Palestinian. And so this war has been started for the sole purpose of finally exterminating the Jews. Genocide of Israel. And so what have they been doing? They caused the first strike for this on the final day of the Jewish Holy Day, celebrated every year. They knew when they were doing it. And then they blamed Israel. Palestinians even murdered their own people to be martyrs, because this is a holy war now. And any Islamist who dies during a holy war goes straight to their paradise and either become a child bride virgin of 72 for one man, or they get a child bride virgin. This is their thinking. This is their war strategy. They are purposely egging on the world to empathize with them and to condemn and call for the ceasefire of Israel, whom they want to genocidally exterminate from the face of the earth. And so yes, beam in the moat is also used. False accusation revealing the same and worse fault in themselves. They accuse the Jews, Israel, of trying to cause a genocide of Palestinians. Nobody wants to understand the truth that's going on. And so, because of this fraudulent war, Palestinians have stormed a U.S. embassy in Turkey because it's a peaceful protest. Likewise did Brigham Young do to Joseph through his Danites. Get your facts of history correct, people. Alright. Let's see. Got another person commenting. Just reviewing it to see if a comment is needed. It's going over the non-practicing of polygamy in the territory. And nothing to say for this video on that. Come on now. I'm related to William the Conqueror. No, this is a practice that's gone all the way back to King Sargon of Old Assyria. He's talking about the church's obsession with temple construction seems to resemble the real estate program of William the Conqueror. Now go back to the beginning. King Sargon claimed to be the man like Horus of the Jews. You're not watching my videos, guys? That's the Jewish Christ, Horus, who is son Amun, in which he claims that he was born of the Nile or the Euphrates River, not the Nile River, and was set afloat in a reed basket to be the King of Kings, Lord of Lords of Mesopotamia, Old Assyria. His rule was the first to be designated as a military operation to expand the empire, to give tribute to the capital, to support the capital and the military, so that they don't have to work for a living. And he would expand, go into a new territory and conquer them and say, you now have to give tribute to us, and we expect the payments to be made every year. And if they didn't comply, the military would then come in and reinforce the law of agency to remind them of their temple covenant path. And so that's what the church is doing here. But it's not for the purpose of this alone. Because remember, Armageddon's coming. Day that shall burn as an oven. And Israel is already getting violent. Or Islam. And so the church is gambling, because it's not gambling if Jesus orders it, that the church will survive and everybody else will die, because Jesus is going to murder everybody else. The battle of Jesus versus Jesus. Islamic Jesus versus Christian Jesus. The Battle of Armageddon. And so the church is expecting to be the last church standing and thus owning the land, will be your king. And so, yeah, aggressive castle construction program. And yeah, the church is even doing reconstruction, especially in this valley. The Jordan River Temple was redesigned, remodeled for earthquake tolerance levels, as well as the Salt Lake Temple also is being done that way. Because they're expecting a big earthquake. We're past due. This was his way of changing leadership of the church, taking care that those in power would remain in power. 4 hours of sleep for the last 2 days. 2 sets of 4. Just like Joseph. Ecclesial, financial, creating permanent surf class. Okay, nothing more to say on that one. Yeah, I checked to see who this guy is because it's at Very Rich too. He's an AON follower, one of Putin's puppets here in America. And so this guy has been having his puppet strings pulled. And so he's trying to claim that he got a letter from the church's Kirtland McConkie. So he is getting some information correct, but can't trust him because he watches AON. He's claiming that the church is prohibiting him from going to church anywhere in the world for 1 year. And he's actually petitioning for redress with the first presidency. Whatever. Get out of here. Get off my channel, you fake news. God. So... that work? I noticed Microsoft attacked me again today. Yeah, here's another person who just doesn't get it because you got fooled by Brigham Young. Let's find out who their name actually is. Tim Spangler, according to the channel. He's got nothing to identify himself. What I know is that Joseph Smith... You're not listening. Get off my channel. ...is utterly irrelevant to the gospel of Jesus Christ. Get the bleep off my channel. Bleep and bleep bleep. God. Great googly moogly. Okay. Here we have a legitimate question. It's on my comparative Mormon religion, Joseph Smith versus Brigham Young. Why didn't those other two watch this? Question. Joseph Smith was anticipating the coming of Elijah once the Nauvoo temple was finished. The way he speaks is as if Elijah the prophet hasn't come yet. Steve, and... What? Do you know what that's all about? Dear God. Done the video several times in several different presentations among the 3.2K plus videos. And so... Section 110, April 3rd, 1836, Kirtland Temple. But he's talking about the Nauvoo temple. And so this is when Elijah, among others, all different titles for the same person. Whose name is not mentioned. April 3rd, 1836 was the third day of Passover. You know, that Jewish thing. It's not like we're the learning of the Jews in the Book of Mormon. And so, this is a Jewish thing, that during Passover, Elijah is going to come. And so, all the Jews all over the world, where economy and conditions will allow, set an extra place at their dinner table for every day of Passover. It's for Elijah. And they leave the east door open during dinner time. And there's even some that go so far as to have a special chair for Elijah to sit down and explain to them the Jewish deep doctrinal question of, is it 613 commandments or 614? We need to know this answer so that we can be obedient. Do we set out an extra cup for you too? There are bigger questions you need to be asking. Looking beyond the mark, I tell you. And so there's other stories, not myths, about Elijah. One of which is about him confronting Lilith. That's a fun one. She's gonna kill the latter-day Jewish Messiah. And so Elijah steps in to save the day so that he can be born in the latter days against that evil whore Lilith. And so Lilith is fun in Jewish history. There's the one that nobody seems to know comes from the Egyptian documents but me, about Adam's first wife, Lilith. She wants to have sex on top. Adam says, no, we have to do missionary style. I'm the presider in the home. She says, well, I'm out. Have fun all by yourself. I'm going to go play East in the Garden of Eden all by myself. And so then Adam goes and cries, oh, Heavenly Father, Lilith left me. You said that she was supposed to be my wife and not leave me. She wanted to have sex on top. Egyptian Heliopolis creation glyph. And so Heavenly Father gives him a new wife, Eve, who's submissive and compliant. So all you Jewish women, you must too be submissive and compliant to your husband in arranged marriages. But there's more to that in regards to the Egyptian document where it originates from, which is in Genesis chapter 1, where Lila is the night. The night. Got the will to try and fight. Creatures of the night? I'm not sure the creatures of the night. That's going to be the theme song in the description below. That's why I'm trying to remember it. And then, and so Lila then never dies. She doesn't commit sin and partake of the forbidden fruit. And so, thus, she's a spirit entity that haunts Jewish babies, as if they leave their windows open, Lilith comes in and kills the baby with SID syndrome. Very sad, but that's Elijah steps in to protect babies from SIDS in that particular case. And so you got to understand the realistic context of babies' births with the SID syndrome and other historical, scriptural contexts for the prophecy of the Latter-day Christ. So the first guy that comes is Jehovah, not Jesus. Jesus is Joshua. This is Jehovah. This is the new name of Yah. Genesis chapter 1, Yah is the head god. King full of discourse. Anybody ever figure it out? No? Just me? And so, in Genesis chapter 2, verse 4, Yahweh appears. Oh, well, it must be another document. An Elohist source. Actually, Yahweh source. Elohist claimed for the first one because they put B in there at the beginning. Get rid of it. Head God brought forth the gods together with the heavens and the earth. Joseph Smith is right. Everybody else is wrong. But, new name. And so this is the deity who completed the work of creation. Lilith. Parting of day and night. So, who then appears? In verse 11. Who's the Jewish Christ? The man like Moses. So yes, Joseph Smith has to get his keys too. Why Moses' keys? Because it's for missionary work, the gathering of Israel? Wasn't that Peter's keys? Oh, Peter's keys are for the kingdom. Oh my God. You really fell for that, huh? And so, section 107, and then Elijah and Elishua. This is a typing error, but it's corrected in the text. Because after this, Elishua appeared and committed the dispensation of the gospel of Abraham. What is the gospel of Abraham? Saying that on our seed all our generations should be blessed. Well, you go to the book of Abraham and you look for the gospel of Abraham. And sure enough, it's the gospel of salvation. Shua in Hebrew. Elishua, the God of salvation. So yes, this could be Jesus. It's just the general God rather than the Yah God. Like Elijah is the God Yah. So it's technically the same people all the way through. Emmanuel. And so section 107, verse 91, tells us exactly what the key of Moses is. The duty of Joseph Smith, president of the office of the high priesthood, is to preside over the whole church and to be like unto Moses. And so these keys are also for the latter-day Mormon Christ, who will be a man like Joseph too. To be a seer, a revelator, translator, and a prophet, not as titles. Oh, we've got the mantle, and we trick Mormons with the mantle. Right, Oaks? Thinker of Thoughts, and he goes by a different title name, but he discusses, or he has the clips of Oakes confessing that as a prophet, he's able to fool Mormons into listening to whatever they don't listen. It's just his mantle so impresses and awes Mormons that they just don't listen, and he can tell them whatever he wants. And I've proven it. You guys literally are not listening to him. What he's got planned in the coming days wasn't just Nelson. That's why Nelson brought him up to be a counselor with him. So, yeah, that's what's going on there. And so, the question is about the Nauvoo temple. And no, he wasn't anticipating the coming of Elijah once the Nauvoo temple was finished. You're listening to Mormon myths confusing the Joseph Smith Papers, 19 July 1840, where Joseph Smith tells the Mormons, you think it's the temple here in Missouri at Independence. Wrong. He says that. And goes on to talk about the mountain cities. Mountains. Like a pyramid. 2 pyramids. In Illinois. And then he says, and Nauvoo will also become a great city. So it's not the temple in Nauvoo. It's that other location in Illinois. The mountain cities of Zion and New Jerusalem. That's where the God Yah will come in the latter days. Fulfilling the Jewish incorrect prophecy, correcting it, telling them, you're looking beyond the mark, asking if I want a cup. He's the man like Moses. And it's been so long, and the tradition's been screwed up, that the Jews have been perpetuating the wrong traditions, such as the Sabbath day of the Babylonians rather than the Egyptians. So yes, it's in the Book of Mormon as an error, what's called an anachronism. And I'm the one who's only figured that out. Nobody else has. And so, yeah, that's what it's all about. So he's here now, because these are the latter days. Do you know who he is? Do you? Do I give a video that explains this for you? Do I? I don't know. 3.2K plus videos. Is there at least one that goes over this? Maybe there's a watermark in the little corner below that helps you understand who you're supposed to be looking for. 14 views in 1 hour, huh? You're supposed to look for a prophet, seer, revelator, and translator. Hope you can find them, because the day that you'll burn as an oven is coming. And Joseph Smith gave you a specific warning to listen to him. Second vision? Please tell me you didn't ask.